Brush contact onto the walls, finishing at the top of the cove fillet. For wet area floors, use Armstrong PU 100 adhesive, which is a two-part polyurethane adhesive that once cured isn't affected by water. Mix thoroughly the entire contents of the two containers together using a drill with a small paddle. Using Armstrong's S891 steel trowel, spread the adhesive on both the floor and the cove fillet. Use a small spatula type spreader to apply adhesive to the drain and the cove fillet. Polyurethane adhesive requires no tack-up time, so is ready for the sheet to be installed straight away. Carefully place the sheet into position by lining up the check marks. It's a good idea to use some scrap vinyl to separate the sheet from the wall where the contact adhesive might grab. Use a 45 kilo roller to ensure good transfer of adhesive to the back of the sheet. When fitting the vinyl into the coves, it's important to ensure it sits snugly against the cove fillet and the wall. Using a hot air gun will help soften the vinyl, making correct fitting easier. Use a wet cloth to help push the vinyl into the cove and a hand roller along the wall. Using heat also helps activate the adhesive, making a stronger bond. When using a clamp down type drain, heat the vinyl to make fitting easier. Screw the clamp firmly down while the vinyl is still warm. Roll around the edge of the drain to ensure the vinyl is firmly fixed to the substrate. For our external corner, use a scrap piece of vinyl to measure the height and cut a piece of sheet. Scribe a 45-degree angle on one side of the sheet. Fit it into place and mark the other side. At the bottom of the V, scribe a small arc to compensate for the shape of the cove fillet. Fit the piece into place and mark the external corner with a pencil. Use a grooving tool or similar to groove about half the thickness of the vinyl out. Apply contact adhesive and fit the piece. The wall vinyl we use for this installation is Armstrong Wall Flex, which is 1.25mm thick. When fixing to 2mm floor vinyl, we use a wedge fillet to compensate and make welding easier and more hygienic. Fit the wedge fillet using contact adhesive. When measuring and marking the walls for the sheet, consider the visual impact and position joins accordingly. To help make hanging the wall vinyl easier, you can use contact adhesive on the top and bottom of the sheet. This will help hold the sheet in place while the adhesive cures. For the field, use an acrylic sheet vinyl adhesive like Armstrong SV200 and a 0.8mm notch trowel to minimise show-through. Allow the adhesive sufficient time to set up before hanging the sheet. Heat and roll the top to ensure good bond with the contact adhesive. Use a vinyl wall roller on the sheet to remove air bubbles, flatten the notches and enable good adhesive transfer from wall to sheet. Using your recess scribers set with 0.5mm gap, mark and cut the join between wall and sheet vinyl. A final heat and roll of all edges of the wall vinyl will ensure that welding will be trouble-free. For internal and external corners, using contact adhesive will make the job much easier. Heat the vinyl and using a hand roller, gradually roll the sheet around the corner, ensuring a good bond the whole way around. For internal corners, heat the sheet and fold backwards while it is pliable. Push the vinyl tightly into the corner and then press in with a stair tool or a corner roller. This gives us a very tight finish with no voids behind which may crack in the future. Once the wall vinyl is finished and had at least 24 hours to dry, lightly groove the wall joins with a sharp triangle groover and the floors with a U or P groover. Weld the flat floor joins with a normal 5mm speed tip and trim in 2 passes using a trim plate and half moon knife. For the wall sheet, use an Armstrong S65 speed tip or a speed tip that has a small airflow channel like the one shown. This will help protect the edges of the vinyl from burning and give us a smaller, neater finish by minimizing flare. Trim in 2 passes. For welding coving, it's a good idea to have a separate speed tip with a nose bent like the one shown. This gives the rod full support through the curves. To trim the coving, use trimming tools such as X-Acto hobby knives that have both flat and round blades. Heating the blades before use will help make the trimming easier. Cleaning and maintaining of the walls should need no more than a small amount of Armstrong once and done neutral detergent and a clean cloth. Cleaning and maintaining of the floor is dependent on the amount of foot traffic that is expected and the amount of soiling. Starting with some once and done, a bucket and a mop give the floor a thorough clean. While the floor is wet, it's a good idea to brush over with a soft bristled broom. This will help release any dirt that has built up in the embossing in the vinyl. Stubborn dirt can be removed with the aid of a deck scrubber. A final mop with neutral detergent will leave you with a clean, hygienic finish. A wet scrub using a polishing machine fitted with a white bassine brush will make larger areas a breeze to clean. Following these installation and maintenance recommendations carefully will give you a beautiful trouble-free floor for many years to come.